What if the strongest cancer prevention habit available to you after 50 is not hidden inside a hospital, a prescription bottle, or an expensive supplement, but inside the ordinary choices you repeat every day? The way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you move, the way you handle stress, and even the hours when you allow your body to rest from food can all influence the internal environment where healthy cells either repair, recover, and defend themselves or struggle under constant pressure. I am Dr. Richard Kim, and today I want to speak directly to adults over 50 who are not looking for fear, hype, or miracle promises, but for practical, science-informed habits that may help support long-term cancer prevention. Let me be clear from the beginning. No lifestyle habit can guarantee that you will never develop cancer. Cancer is complex. Genetics, age, environment, infections, hormones, immune function, and chance all play a role. But this is also true. Your daily habits can affect inflammation, insulin levels, immune surveillance, DNA repair, sleep quality, body weight, hormone balance, and the way your cells respond to damage. That means you are not powerless. Many people think cancer prevention begins only with screenings, scans, or blood tests. Those things are important, and if your doctor recommends them, you should follow that advice. Colonoscopy, mammograms, skin checks, prostate discussions, pap tests, lung screening for certain high-risk people, and vaccines where appropriate can save lives. But prevention does not only happen in the clinic. It also happens in your kitchen, bedroom, walking shoes, stress response, and evening routine. Today, I am going to walk you through 5 daily habits that may help create a healthier internal environment after 50. I will build from the most basic to the most powerful. Each habit connects to a real biological mechanism: inflammation, immune defense, blood sugar control, hormone signaling, cellular repair, and metabolic rhythm. None of them require perfection. None require you to become someone else, but together they form a practical strategy for protecting the body you live in every day. Before we begin, I want you to listen to this idea carefully. Cancer does not usually appear out of nowhere in a single moment. In many cases, the body has been dealing with years of cellular stress, chronic inflammation, damaged DNA, poor repair signals, and immune distraction. Your job is not to panic about every meal or every bad night of sleep. Your job is to reduce the repeated pressures that make the body work harder than it needs to. Let us begin with habit number 5. Replace ultra-processed foods with whole foods, one choice at a time. Every day, your body is rebuilding itself. Cells divide, tissues repair. The immune system checks for abnormalities. The liver processes chemicals. The gut lining renews. The blood vessels respond to inflammation and sugar levels. Food is not just fuel in this process. Food is information. It tells your body whether the environment is stable or under attack. Ultra-processed foods are not simply foods that come in a package. The concern is foods that are heavily engineered, high in refined starches, added sugars, poor quality fats, excess sodium, additives, and low in fiber, minerals, and natural plant compounds. Think of many packaged snack cakes, sugary cereals, fast food meals, processed meats, sweet drinks, flavored chips, and shelf-stable snacks that barely resemble their original ingredients. The problem is not one cookie at a birthday party. The problem is when these foods become the foundation of the diet. Over time, a diet high in ultra-processed foods may contribute to weight gain, insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, poor gut health, and oxidative stress. These conditions do not prove cancer will happen, but they can create a biological environment associated with higher risk. Your cells need nutrients to repair. They need protein, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, and stable energy. When the diet is mostly refined and processed, the body may be receiving calories without enough protective compounds. It is like asking a repair crew to rebuild a house while delivering boxes full of dust instead of tools. A patient I will call Maria taught me this lesson in a very human way. She was 59, worked long hours, and told me she did not eat that badly. Her breakfast was usually sweetened cereal or a pastry. Lunch was a deli sandwich with processed meat. Dinner was often frozen meals because she was tired. Snacks came from whatever was in the office cabinet. None of it seemed extreme. But when we looked at the pattern, most of her day came from ultra-processed foods. Maria had a family history of colon cancer, and that fear brought her into my office. We did not start with a dramatic diet. We started with substitutions. Oatmeal with berries instead of sugary cereal. Lentil soup instead of processed deli meat twice a week. Nuts and fruit instead of packaged snacks. Vegetables added to dinner before removing anything else. She was surprised because she did not feel deprived. She felt steadier. The goal for you is not to become perfect. It is to make the next meal less processed than the last one. If breakfast is packaged cereal, change it to oats, eggs, plain yogurt, or fruit with nuts. If lunch is processed meat, try grilled chicken, beans, tuna, hummus, or leftover home-cooked food. If the snack is chips, try an apple, walnuts, carrots, or plain popcorn. If dinner is frozen and salty, add a salad, vegetables, beans, or a simple protein. Small swaps repeated daily matter more than a strict plan abandoned after 3 days. Now, habit number 4, protect your sleep as if your immune system depends on it, because in many ways it does. Most people think of sleep as rest, but sleep is also maintenance. During sleep, the body regulates hormones, repairs tissue, processes memories, balances blood sugar, lowers stress chemistry, and supports immune function. For cancer prevention, one of the most important ideas is immune surveillance. This means your immune system is constantly looking for abnormal cells and responding to threats before they grow into something more serious. Certain immune cells help identify and remove cells that look damaged, infected, or abnormal. This does not mean sleep alone prevents cancer, but poor sleep can weaken many systems that help maintain cellular health. Short sleep, fragmented sleep, untreated sleep apnea, and irregular sleep timing may contribute to inflammation, insulin resistance, hormone disruption, and reduced immune coordination. After 50, sleep often becomes lighter. People wake to use the bathroom. Pain interrupts rest. Stress keeps the mind active. Medications can affect sleep. Snoring and sleep apnea become more common. Many adults accept poor sleep as normal aging, but poor sleep should not be ignored simply because it is common. I want you to think of sleep as a nightly repair appointment. If you keep missing that appointment, the body does not stop needing repair. It simply falls behind. A patient I will call Thomas was 64, retired, and proud of needing only 5 hours. He walked daily, ate reasonably well, and kept his medical appointments. But he snored loudly, woke unrefreshed, and felt sleepy after lunch. His wife said he sometimes stopped breathing at night. He thought this was harmless because he had lived with it for years. I encouraged him to discuss sleep apnea evaluation with his physician. He did. Treatment was recommended. At the same time, we worked on basic sleep structure, consistent wake time, morning light, less late-night screen exposure, a cooler bedroom, no heavy meals close to bedtime, and a calmer wind-down routine. Within a few months, he looked different, more alert, less irritable, more consistent with exercise. His blood pressure also became easier to manage with his doctor's plan. That is the point. Sleep improves the foundation on which other habits stand. For you, start with what sleep researchers often call an anchor, a consistent wake time. Wake up at roughly the same time every day, including weekends. This helps set your circadian rhythm. Then work backward. Get morning light. Move during the day. Limit caffeine late in the day. Keep the bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid using the bed as a place for news, arguments, or scrolling. If you snore heavily, wake gasping, have morning headaches, or feel exhausted despite enough hours, ask about sleep apnea. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is repair. Now, habit number 3, move every day, especially after meals. I know the word exercise can feel heavy. Many adults over 50 hear it and think of gyms, sweat, injuries, or routines they cannot sustain. So let us use a better word, movement. The body is designed to move, and movement changes cancer biology in several important ways. Regular movement can help improve insulin sensitivity, reduce excess body fat, lower inflammation, support immune function, improve gut motility, strengthen muscles, improve mood, and help regulate hormones. These effects matter because many cancers are influenced by metabolic and inflammatory environments. Again, movement does not guarantee prevention. But a sedentary life can create conditions that are less favorable for long-term cellular health. One important mechanism is blood sugar and insulin. After meals, especially meals high in refined carbohydrates, blood sugar rises. The body releases insulin to move glucose into cells. When high insulin levels become frequent, the body can shift toward a growth-promoting, inflammatory state. Short walks after meals can help muscles absorb glucose more efficiently, reducing the size of blood sugar spikes. You do not need to become an athlete. You need to stop being still for long stretches. A patient I will call Eleanor was 72 and had arthritis in both knees. She believed movement advice did not apply to her because walking hurt. But when we talked carefully, we found options. 5 minutes of slow walking after meals, gentle seated leg lifts, standing during commercials, light resistance bands, water exercise twice a week. None of it looked impressive on social media, but it was enough to change her relationship with her body. She became less stiff, more confident, and less afraid of activity. For you, the first goal is simple. Take a 10 to 20-minute walk after your largest meal if you can do so safely. If walking outside is not safe, walk indoors. If walking is difficult, stand and march gently in place, use a stationary bike, do chair-based movement, or ask a physical therapist for safe options. If you have chest pain, severe shortness of breath, dizziness, or unstable medical problems, speak with your clinician before changing activity. Also, break up sitting. Set a timer. Every hour, stand up for 2 to 5 minutes. Walk down the hallway. Stretch your calves. Roll your shoulders. Move your ankles. Your cells respond to these interruptions. The body does not like being parked all day. Movement is not punishment for eating. It is communication with your metabolism. Every walk says to your muscles, use this fuel. Every stretch says to your joints, stay available. Every short break from sitting says to your circulation, keep moving. Now, habit number 2, regulate chronic stress before it becomes biology. Stress management can sound soft until you understand what chronic stress does inside the body. Short-term stress is normal. If you face a sudden threat, your body releases stress hormones to help you respond. That is healthy. The problem is not a temporary stress response. The problem is when stress becomes the background setting of your life. After 50, many people carry stress they do not even name. Caregiving, retirement changes, financial pressure, grief, loneliness, medical worry, family conflict, poor sleep, pain. The body may live in a constant state of alert even when the person says, I'm fine. Chronic stress can influence cortisol rhythms, sleep quality, inflammation, blood sugar, appetite, immune function, and health behaviors. It can lead to emotional eating, alcohol use, inactivity, isolation, and poor sleep. It can keep the nervous system in survival mode. A body that never feels safe has a harder time repairing. A man I will call Daniel came to me after retirement. He said he was finally relaxed, but his body told a different story. He slept poorly, clenched his jaw, checked news late at night, skipped meals, and had lost regular social connection. He did not feel stressed because stress had become familiar. It was simply how he lived. We did not start with therapy jargon. We started with rhythm. 12 minutes of slow breathing in the morning, a walk outside in the evening without his phone, one scheduled dinner with friends each week, a fixed time to stop watching news at night. These changes were not dramatic, but they were repeatable. Within weeks, his sleep improved, his mood softened, and he became more consistent with movement and food choices. That is why stress regulation belongs on this list. It supports every other habit. For you, begin with a daily breathing practice. Sit comfortably. Breathe in slowly through your nose if possible. Let the belly expand gently. Exhale longer than you inhale. Continue for 5 to 12 minutes. If breath holds make you uncomfortable, skip them. This is not a contest. You are training the nervous system to leave emergency mode. Then add one social connection. Call someone, walk with a neighbor, join a class, eat with family, volunteer. Loneliness is not just an emotion, it can become a health stressor. Human connection is part of health maintenance. Also create a stress boundary. Choose one daily input that keeps your body activated and reduce it. Late night news, arguments on social media, work emails after dinner, constant phone alerts. You cannot remove every stressor, but you can stop feeding some of them. Now we arrive at habit number 1. Create a consistent overnight fasting window. This habit is often misunderstood, so I want to be precise. I am not talking about extreme fasting, starvation, skipping meals recklessly, or using fasting as a weight loss obsession. I'm talking about giving the body a consistent period each night without calories, usually by closing the kitchen earlier and avoiding constant evening snacking. Your body is not designed to digest continuously from early morning until late night. When food is constantly entering, insulin stays active, digestion stays busy, and the body has less time in a true rest and repair state. During a fasting window, the body shifts towards stored fuel use, improved metabolic rhythm, and cellular maintenance processes. One of those processes is called autophagy, which means cellular cleanup. In simple terms, cells identify and recycle damaged components. Autophagy is not a magic cancer shield. It is a normal maintenance process. But supporting healthy metabolic rhythms may help the body manage cellular stress more effectively. Time-restricted eating can also reduce late-night snacking, improve blood sugar patterns for some people, support weight management, and align eating with circadian biology. The safest version for many adults is not extreme. It is a 12-hour overnight break from calories. For example, finish dinner by 7 p.m. and eat breakfast at 7 a.m. Some people may gradually extend to 13 or 14 hours if appropriate, but this is not right for everyone. People with diabetes on glucose-lowering medication, a history of eating disorders, frailty, unintended weight loss, pregnancy, certain kidney or liver conditions, or complex medical issues should speak with a clinician before fasting. A patient I will call Michael was 61. He did not overeat, but he ate across a very long day. Coffee with cream at 6 a.m., breakfast at 8, snacks through the afternoon, dinner at 8, crackers at 10. He rarely gave his body a break from calories. His doctor was watching his blood sugar, and he was worried because cancer ran in his family. We did not ask him to skip meals. We simply shortened the eating window. Breakfast at 8 a.m., dinner finished by 6:30 p.m., water, plain tea, or black coffee outside the window if tolerated. He found it easier than expected because the main change was removing late-night grazing. Over time, he reported better morning energy and fewer evening cravings. His doctor continued monitoring his blood sugar and adjusted guidance based on his full medical picture. For you, start with a 12-hour kitchen closure. If your first calories are at 7 a.m., finish your last calories by 7 p.m. If breakfast is at 8 a.m., finish by 8 p.m. Keep it consistent. Do not turn it into punishment. Eat enough nutritious food during your eating window: protein, vegetables, fruit, legumes, whole grains if tolerated, healthy fats, and adequate fluids. The power of this habit is that it supports the others. An earlier kitchen closure may improve sleep. Better sleep may reduce cravings. Fewer late-night snacks may improve morning blood sugar. Better blood sugar may make movement feel easier. Less grazing may reduce inflammation. The habits begin to reinforce each other. Now let us connect all 5 into one strategy. Whole foods reduce the daily burden of excess sugar, refined starches, additives, and inflammatory dietary patterns. Sleep gives the immune system and repair systems time to function. Movement improves insulin sensitivity, circulation, muscle health, and inflammation. Stress regulation lowers the constant alarm signals that interfere with repair. A nightly fasting window gives metabolism a predictable rest period and may support cellular maintenance. This is not a list of random tips. It is a system. If you try to do everything tomorrow, you may feel overwhelmed and quit. So do not start with everything. Start with one habit, one processed food swap, one consistent wake time, one walk after dinner, one breathing practice, one 12-hour overnight fasting window. Choose the habit that feels most realistic, then repeat it until it becomes part of your life. I also want to be very clear about what this video is not. It is not a replacement for cancer screening. It is not advice to refuse treatment. It is not a guarantee. It is not a reason to blame yourself if you or someone you love develops cancer. People with excellent habits can still get cancer. People with difficult histories can still improve their health. Shame has no place here. The goal is not control over every outcome. The goal is influence over the conditions you can change. Please keep up with age-appropriate screenings. Talk with your doctor about your personal risk, especially if you have a family history of cancer, previous polyps, abnormal bleeding, unexplained weight loss, persistent pain, changing moles, chronic cough, difficulty swallowing, or symptoms that do not go away. Do not use lifestyle habits to explain away warning signs. Early evaluation matters. Let me also address the person who is thinking, I have already made too many mistakes. Maybe you smoked when you were younger. Maybe you spent decades eating fast food because work and family left no room for planning. Maybe you slept poorly for years, sat too much, or lived under stress that nobody else could see. I do not want this message to make you feel guilty. Guilt freezes people. Responsibility moves people. The body is not a courtroom where your past is used only as evidence against you. It is a living system that responds to new conditions. When you improve food quality, your gut, liver, blood sugar, and inflammatory signals can begin to shift. When you sleep better, the next day becomes easier. When you move after meals, your muscles help manage fuel. When you breathe slowly, your nervous system receives a different message. When you stop eating late into the night, digestion and metabolism gain rhythm. This is why I prefer the word practice over discipline. Discipline can sound harsh, as if health requires punishment. Practice sounds more accurate. You practice sleeping at a regular time. You practice choosing real food. You practice walking after meals. You practice calming the body. You practice closing the kitchen. Some days will be imperfect. That does not erase the practice. If you miss a day, do not start over with shame. Resume at the next meal, the next walk, the next evening. The people who benefit most from lifestyle change are usually not the people who never make mistakes. They are the people who return quickly after a mistake. That is the skill to build. You should also bring your healthcare team into this. Ask your doctor what screenings are appropriate for your age and family history. Ask whether your medications affect appetite, sleep, weight, or exercise tolerance. Ask whether fasting is safe for you. Ask whether unexplained fatigue, bleeding, pain, or weight loss needs evaluation. A strong prevention plan combines daily habits with medical guidance, not one against the other. One final practical tip: prepare your environment before relying on willpower. Keep whole foods visible, put walking shoes near the door, charge the phone outside the bedroom, place a chair where you can breathe quietly. Decide when the kitchen closes before evening cravings start. Your environment should make the right action easier than the wrong one. Write the first habit on paper. Do not keep it vague. Eat better is too broad. Replace evening chips with fruit and nuts is clear. Exercise more is too broad. Walk for 10 minutes after dinner is clear. Specific habits are easier for the brain to repeat today. Now let me give you a 7-day starting plan. Day 1, replace one ultra-processed breakfast with a whole food breakfast. Day 2, set a consistent wake time. Day 3, take a short walk after your largest meal. Day 4, practice slow breathing for 5 minutes. Day 5, close the kitchen 12 hours before breakfast. Day 6, repeat the easiest habit. Day 7, write down what felt better and what felt hard. That is how change becomes real, not through fear, through repetition. At the end of the week, ask yourself, did I sleep slightly better? Did I snack less at night? Did I move more? Did I feel steadier after meals? Did I feel more in control? If the answer is yes to even one of those questions, you have proof that your body is still responsive. And that is the message I want you to carry. Your cells are listening to the environment you create. They listen to food quality, they listen to sleep timing, they listen to movement, they listen to stress chemistry, they listen to whether digestion ever gets a rest. You do not have to be perfect to send better signals. You simply have to start sending them more often. If you are over 50, the next chapter of your health is not already written. Your age matters, but so do your choices. Your family history matters, but so does your daily environment. Your past habits matter, but so does what you repeat starting tonight. Choose one habit from this video and begin this week. Replace one food. Protect one wake time. Walk after one meal. Breathe for 5 minutes. Close the kitchen for 12 hours. Do not wait until motivation feels perfect. Start while it feels ordinary. Ordinary actions repeated long enough become powerful. And if this video helped you, share it with someone over 50 who needs practical hope, not fear. Cancer prevention should not be presented as magic, but it also should not be presented as helplessness. There is a responsible middle ground. Learn your risks, get screened, work with your doctor, and build daily habits that support the body's natural defense and repair systems. I am Dr. Richard Kim. Take care of your body, protect your future, and remember, prevention is not one dramatic decision. It is the quiet pattern you practice every day.